Rarely reflect the opinions of KHVN or Mortensen Broadcasting.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Building Wealth Together with our experts Rosalind Booker, Rhonda Hutchinson, Melanie Williamson, and Chris Ziegler. Here is Building Wealth Together on Heaven 97 KHVN.
Well, top of the noon hour to you. Top of the noon hour, KHVN family. How are you? How are you? This is Roz B. Ask Roz B. We are back to the basics here with Building Wealth Together. We have a phenomenal show today and the rest of August. It is going to be so good. It's going to be involving investing, real estate investing, and other investing activities alike. So here at Building Wealth Together, we have a special guest, and we're going to get to her in just a moment, but it's going to be a power-packed month here at Building Wealth Together. So if you're just tuning in, what is this all about? Well, we're here every first, second, and third, fourth Saturdays of the month, high noon, 12 noon. We call it the hour of power, and we're empowering lives and building wealth through real estate, mortgage, that's the money, y'all, credit and insurance. And that's the basic. Those are the pillars, and that's the foundation and the platform that we are using to reach out to communities here locally and beyond. And because of our digital age and our technology, we know that we are reaching beyond our city here in the DFW area. So if you have your phones, please feel free to go to the App Store and download the KHVN app. You can listen live on the KHVN radio station. You can see us up close and personal as we can in this COVID-19 pandemic. We are on Facebook. So please go to our Facebook page, Building Wealth Together Radio. That's Building Wealth Together Radio. Like us, follow us, engage with us there. You can pose your questions, your comments, because we want to engage with you. And we, Rhonda and I, and the whole team, we just want to congratulate one of the constituents that has been listening faithfully, and she's realizing her dream. Guess what, y'all? She just closed on her home. And I tell you, she's at a seasoned, ripe age. She did not let age become a deterrent for her. She did not let the pandemic become a deterrent. She didn't let the obstacles that stood in her way to become a deterrent, but she pressed through. We were there arm to arm, shoulder to shoulder with her, and she is building and creating her own wealth. So again, what is this all about? Well, we just want to provide you the basic principles, the tools, and, we're Christ-centered. We love the Lord, and He's the CEO of our businesses. So we want to take those biblical principles, what God has already said, and use some practical wisdom and some practical tools to bring you guys, you ladies, everybody to a place where they can realize their wealth. They can go after that inheritance, and they can walk toward the destiny that God has already set forth. That's what it's all about, doing it together. We, again, had a wonderful shredding event. We love to partner with our community alliances. Again, we thank the Frisco Family Center, their food pantry, which we helped them raise and take in over 10,000 units to, feed some families in need during this critical time. And we had truck north out there. People were shredding their paper, shredding, making space for the new them. The new capacity, creating capacity to receive the new. So at Building Wealth Together, we do have our individual contact information, but we wanted to give you one number today. Reach us at 469-795-1708. That's 469-795-1708. And I also know that you can text us at that number. We'll get it. And we have the station. Call in today. We know that you have questions. Call in at 972-996-3970. Again, that's 996-3970. We have our website that you can find us on. We keep you updated with events. We actually have the calendar for our series this month on investing. You can go to Building Wealth Together, the letter B, the number 2, the letter B.com. That's Building Wealth Together, B2B.com. We also have our novelty tee. If you're on Facebook, you can see us in this nice, pretty lavender purple shirt. Thank you, Melanie Michelle. It has an emblem across the front, y'all. Yeah, it's glittering, it's shimmering. Yes, and it has an emblem of people locking arms together, shoulder to shoulder, building wealth together, back to the basics. And we want you guys to join in the journey with us. They're priced at $19, for the small, medium, large, and extra large. 2X and 3X will be an additional charge. On the website, you can find how to purchase those, and you want to join with us in the journey. We want you to be here. So again, I'm Roz B. Ask Roz B. I'm the principal broker, CEO of Arbrook Realty. We're birthing dreams every day, birthing dreams, building legacies in real estate. We are better together. That's why my friends are here with us. We're helping people reclaim, restore, and rebuild their inheritance, rebuild their lives through real estate. And I just want to say, we're going to be doing some great things together. We have talked to so many people that's going to help join in the mission to educate you this month in real estate and in investing. We're going to talk about the legacy and the health of real estate. We're going to talk about, some things that have been in our way and how we can move past those things together. We're going to talk about how to finance deals, how to determine your niche, how to get centered in what your goals are and in terms of real estate. But without further ado, I wanted to introduce you to the team, y'all. We got Mel. Come on, Mel, say something to our community today.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, it's Melanie Williamson. Hey, I am representing P31 Resource Networking. My focus is credit and community. So it is a pleasure to work with these phenomenal people. And you know what? I'm popping in and out. I have technical difficulties. So if I disappear, I just want y'all to know I will be back. Okay. So I am so glad to be here. And I am actually on a lake today. So I think that's why my internet is on and off. So y'all plug in, feel free to hop in. If I go silent, it's because of my internet. So great to be here today.
We got you, Mel.
Yeah, we got you covered.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
It's nice to get unplugged and do life, that's a wonderful thing. And we thank you for being so committed that even on the lake, see, that's the kind of people I want in the barracks with me. Those that are committed, that are on the lake and still plugged in. So next, I know y'all here. Chris, you're gonna bring her in. What you got, Chris?
I'll see if I can do it better this way.
Y'all hear it? Woo, you sound like
that sound like a barking dog.
That wasn't no roar, Chris. I don't know what that was.
I'm about to work on that. But guess what, though? Before we go even further, guess whose birthday it is today? The Linus's birthday is today. His birthday is today.
Yes, it is.
Before we go anywhere, we have to give her the proper introduction. Come on, y'all. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Well, happy birthday, Linus.
Yes, it's my birthday today, and I couldn't find a better way to spend it with my host and co-host on today, you guys. It's just been a blessed day already. But I'm gonna let the Heaven 97 listeners know who I am, and that I'm Rhonda Hutchinson. I am the Lone Lioness. Yes, I roar with power and passion. And I'm with Paramount Residential Mortgage Group. I am a residential mortgage lender, and I am excited, happy, and just ecstatic to be here this morning, so to bring to the audience what we have in store for them a little later on.
Oh my goodness. That is so awesome. We're gonna have to celebrate your birthday.
Yes.
So principal, I know you keep us in shape. Come on, Zig.
Hey guys, it's good to see everybody and hear everybody this morning on the Heaven 97 and Facebook. I'm Chris Ziegler with the Ziegler Agency Allstate, located in Frisco, Texas. And I say my motto is customer service with a personal touch. But hey, I'm just excited today about the opportunity to be on the radio and talk about the investment and other opportunities that we got in store this month. And just can't wait to get into it and share a lot of these things with the listening audience.
That's awesome. And Chris, after you pray us out, I'm going to talk to us about today's show and introduce our guests. Please pray us.
Right. Okay, so bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we first and foremost thank you for letting us be in your presence. We just thank you for all the blessings you bestowed upon us, dear God. And we ask you to continue to bless us through the blood of your Son, Jesus Christ, through all the things that are happening in this world. We know you're going to be steadfast and keep us on the right track and the right path on a day-to-day basis. We thank you for our families, our friends, and this opportunity on the radio, dear God, to prayerfully, hopefully we can help somebody with their stewardship and guide them in the right direction, whether it be investments or finances, or just get themselves together to go in the right direction for future costs. These are blessings we ask in your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. So if you're just tuning in, you're reaching Building Wealth Together. It is our show that we provide every Saturday, every first, second, third, and fourth Saturdays, high noon. We say it is an hour packed full of information, jewels, and nuggets. And today we have a special treat. She is kicking off our investment show, Lauren Cadilac, attorney Lauren Cadilac with Cadillac Law. She's going to be talking to us about how to legally protect yourself and how to structure those deals correctly. You know, a lot of people have a bundle of money. Maybe they've pulled their funds. Maybe they have gone from idea to concept to, okay, boots on the ground, I'm ready to invest. And they get to investing and leave themselves so vulnerable, so covered up, and they don't have the protection that they need. And so we felt it would be great for us to show the listening community and teach them what it means to get prepared in the correct way. So Attorney Lauren, would you please introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you, and let's go.
All right. Good morning, Roz. Happy birthday, Rhonda. Hi,
you,
Chris.
Lauren.
I think we've met before.
Yes, we
Melanie, nice to meet you.
Me too.
Thank you so much for having me on today. I really appreciate it. Before I get into protecting yourself, and I'm going to talk about two forms of protection, personal and business, I will tell you about myself. I'm an attorney. My firm is called Cadillac Law. We are located in the K-Heaven building, right there at Hampton and 67. And I have been practicing in South Dallas and serving the southern sector as well as the DFW area since 2016 in a full-time capacity. So I'm really happy to be here. And I feel so blessed to help the people that I get to help on a daily basis. So it is a lovely and rewarding job. So thank you for inviting me. Before I get into things, let me give my phone number for listeners. If you're interested or you need some legal advice, give us a call. It's 972-845-1200. Okay, so first I want to talk about protecting yourself. So I've been on this big self-care kick and getting healthy and mentally sound. And one thing that's really resonated with me is the idea that when you're on an airplane, they tell you if you need the mask falls, you put it on yourself first, and then you help anyone who's next to you, particularly a child, right? And I remember I was a child on the plane once, and I was like, what? Why would the adults do it first? I have a future. And they explained to me that in order to help someone else, you have to make sure, and especially in this situation, that you're getting the oxygen you need. Because if you're not getting the oxygen, you're not going to be able to help the kid get the oxygen, right? And so if you think of life and you look at life that way and understand that it's not selfish to give yourself oxygen first, because if you give yourself that care and you take care of yourself, you can care for so many other people, and you can be more of a blessing than when you when you put yourself on the back burner. So that is, when I think of self-protection, I think of everything I worked for. I have not worked this hard so that someday I pass away and the taxes on my property don't get paid, and now my kids have nothing. And that all that wealth I worked to build is lost because I didn't put a plan in place. So to protect yourself legally, in a legal manner, you need, and it's not fun to think about, but you need to prepare and have a plan for what's going to happen. One, if you get dementia or in a coma or somehow mentally incapacitated, and two, when you pass away. And, you know, a lot of folks think about that. Well, you know, I'm not 40 yet, right? So I'm not even 40, but I'm a mom and I have 2 kids and I have a responsibility to those children. And if I died tomorrow, where would my kids go? What would happen with my house? What would happen with my life insurance? How would I know that my children are taken care of? How do I know that their college is paid for? The way I know is by doing estate planning. So I do estate planning at my firm. I think it is the best gift you can give anybody, is to have an estate plan for yourself. Okay. That's a will if you need it. That's a ladybird deed sometimes. That's a trust for a lot of folks. It's having power of attorney in place in case you get hit in the head. I was in a 4-day coma once. 4 days I was in a coma. 4 days I couldn't make decisions about myself, right? And then when I woke up, I really had no idea what was going on. So I still couldn't make decisions for myself. That was from a car accident. I was 24 years old. You know, these things happen. Life happens. And the best you can do to prepare for those things will help the impact be lighter. It will make it easier, not just on you, but on your family. You know, if you already have those POAs in place, you hit your head, you can, you know, if you come out of the coma or you've told people before, they know exactly where to go and they can go get the paperwork and show the doctor, okay, here's who's gonna make decisions about Lauren. And I know power of attorney doesn't per se have to do with real estate, but it does. Mm-hmm. I have so many clients who call and, oh my gosh, my husband just had a stroke. He was the only one on the bank account. I can't access the bank account. I can't pay the mortgage. I guarantee that is not what husband wanted for wife and family. I guarantee that is not what husband wanted for wife and family. And now wife and family are coming up with $6,000 to pay lawyer to go get a temporary guardianship, when husband could have signed a $150 power of attorney while he was well during, you know, on a Tuesday, right, on a regular day. So it really can impact your real estate. Now, if you die and you haven't, you hadn't had the opportunity to take care of these things, a lot of folks think that your property just automatically goes to the government. That is not true in Texas. It might be true elsewhere, but it is not true here. In Texas, it's going to take a long time. What's going to happen is you're going to have that relative who's living in the house, and then they're not going to be able to pay the property taxes because it's not their homestead, so they can't get into a payment plan. And so they're going to have, you know, $6,000 in hand once a year, which I don't actually know anyone who can do that personally. Okay. Which is why I have PITI loans, because I don't have $6,000 sitting around to give the government on January 31st. So the person is usually living there. They don't pay the taxes, and then eventually they get the letter from Linebarger, Goggin, Sampson, and Blair. There's a lot of words for this law firm, but that's who's going to be suing you. And then there's going to be a lawsuit, and then eventually there's a judgment, and then eventually the house is sold. So it's not an immediate threat of government taking your property. So I would like to alleviate people's fears there, but it is, and it tends to be it's eventually going to happen. So what do you do to protect that? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not paying 30 years on this mortgage for it to just like be taken away after I die, right? So depending on your situation, and that's why I would like people to call an attorney so that the attorney can like work through the situation. understand your family situation and figure out with you what's best. But depending on your situation, if you do some sort of estate planning, you can know and feel safe that your property will pass how you want it to. We're going to have to go to a break, but I do want to mention trusts, and I would like to talk more about them when I get to, because they are a great instrument, not just for families, but for businesses. If you can open a trust, you can open your business in the trust name. Then when you pass away, your business is not screeching halt, wait till there's an executor. Your trustee can continue to run your business, collect your rents, do those sort of things, and your beneficiaries can get their bills paid. All right, sorry.
No,
I get too excited.
Great information, please don't.
Oh my God, I'm sitting on the edge of my seat. I just cannot take notes fast enough. This is good with a T, y'all. Good with a T. But we are going to have to take a short break. Let's hear from our co-sponsors, Superior Abstract and Title.
Yes.
Superior Abstract and Title is not your typical title company. We make our clients feel number one by answering every call and working around the client's schedule. We will close the customer at any location they choose with no cost added for this service. In addition, we are a 100% woman-owned business. Contact Superior today at 214-705-1310 or superiorabstract.com.
All righty, thank you so much. And now we'll hear from Chris's co-sponsors.
Hey guys, this is Chris Ziegler, and my sponsor for today is Walter Pickney with Superior. The Superior is a Superior HVAC company. They do residential, commercial, AC installation, maintenance and service, and they do repairs. In fact, he just did mine on Thursday, so he did a phenomenal job. And he can be reached at 469-636-0945, and that is Superior HVAC company.
Hey, today my sponsor is Brian Jennings. He's with Next Payroll. Brian and his team provide marketing consulting, payroll services, and HR consulting. He's providing small business solutions that result in sustainability, growth, relevance, and efficiency. Next Generation Payroll is located in Dallas, and you can reach Brian directly at 214-396-2200, and that was 214-396-2200, or just reach out on his website, ngpayroll.com.
Awesome.
Back to you.
Thank you so much. If you're just joining the show, you're here with Building Wealth Together, Back to the Basics. We have an awesome show for you today. We have attorney Lauren Cadilac with Cadillac Law. She's talking to us about how to protect ourselves and how to legally structure the deals. Here at Building Wealth Together, you can reach us collectively at one number, 469-795-1708. Again, that's 469-795-1708. You can go to our website at Building Wealth Together, the letter B, the number 2, the letter B.com. That's Building Wealth Together, B2B.com. There you'll find also our schedule for the coming shows on investing this month in August. Can y'all believe it's already August? Oh my God. Also, you will find our new lovely legacy lavender tea that we have, our Building Wealth Together tea. And they're saying on Facebook how much they love it. Yeah, even Chris got one, y'all. Yeah, he got one. So I
don't have the sprinkles now. I don't have the sprinkles on mine. I just got a solid color. They got the bling. I don't. So let's get that. Don't get it twisted.
The ladies are blinging. Chris is shining like he always is, okay? But he does have one. And we do have the men's style, the men cut, and we do have the ladies cuts, and that's small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, 3X, but for 2X and 3X, there is going to be an additional fee. Join us in our journey. Join us in the legacy wealth building. Grab your tea. Information is on the site, or we will place that information also on Facebook. And we have a winner to announce on Facebook. We will do that at the end of the show. You know, we've been talking about, hey, go over, like the page, follow the page, engage with us. And for those who have liked, followed, and engaged with us the most, we're going to have a winner. And we just want to treat you to some Starbucks coffee. We're going to send you a Starbucks gift card, all right? So back to the show. Miss Lauren, let's pick it up where we left off.
I have a quick question though for Lauren.
Yeah.
Somebody texted me and asked this question about the power of attorney. I've heard some people have a concern about power of attorney because they think if I relinquish my power, I can't get it back, and then maybe somebody could do something deleterious and take something away from me, and I can't get back control. Can you kind of go into that a little bit?
Sure. So that risk certainly does exist. You can give someone power of attorney, and a way to alleviate that risk is to do it on a temporary basis or to do a limited power of attorney.
Okay.
But you can also give someone power of attorney and then later revoke that power of attorney. You would just need to contact all the institutions that you shared the original power of attorney with and let them know it's been revoked, which is a little bit of a pain if you ask me. I recommend with my personal power of attorney documents, I have them, they're signed, they're ready to go. My people know where to find them. They know who's named, but they don't have a copy. And they're not going to get that copy unless they need that copy, right? And then they're going to have to jump through a couple people to get into the building in which the copy is in. So that can add some protection. Now, I do want to say never, ever, 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 ever put your will or anything in a safe deposit box, because if it is needed and you are inaccessible, we have to go to a judge to get an order to get that safe deposit box open.
Right. You know, we don't think about that, Lauren. And we've been taught to put it in the safe deposit box.
I know, Roz. And I learned from my experience how expensive that can be. With your will, you can actually send it to whatever county you're in. You can send it to the county clerk and they will hold it for you. And that's probably the safest place for it to be. County clerk offices hardly ever get broken into or burned down anymore. And so that is a really safe place to have it. And then when you pass, it's really easy. They already have it, right? So nobody has to look around, and there's no chance that somebody's going to go Photoshop it or manipulate it. And I do see that in my practice. So it is a real risk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah, and Chris, I'm glad you brought that up, and whoever the listener was, you need to choose people you can trust, and you need to choose people, for me, who have their own things. So my financial power of attorney is a sister of mine. She has a great income. She does not need my stuff, right? So she doesn't need to take from me to eat. She doesn't need to take from my children to do, and also she prioritizes my children because they're her niece and nephew. So it doesn't have to be, it could be your CPA, you know, it could be a lawyer, it can be someone, but it needs to be someone that you trust. So we started talking about trust before we went to break. So trust, and trusts are my favorite thing in the whole world. I like to tell people about trust. I actually have some videos about them on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel called Cadillac Law. And y'all, I spell Cadillac with one L. So it's just like the car, but I only have one L. And I talk about trust. Trusts are what rich people use. They're the only way you can control someone from the grave. And what I started talking about before break, if you are a real estate investor, if you are going to have tenants and collect rent, and that's part of your retirement plan, and that's a great plan, by the way, very smart thinking. If you have a trust and then you open your LLC, and I prefer series LLCs for real estate investors, and Roz and I talked about those, what was it, on Thursday? A series LLC, you do one LLC filing, but then you can make multiple LLCs. So you put each piece of real estate in its own LLC that rolls up through this series. And I do have a video on YouTube about that as well, with a little bit of a drawing, so it's a little easier to understand. So what I like to do is I like to create a trust for the family. And trusts are especially great if you're in a blended family. If you're someone like me, like I've been divorced and remarried, and I have kids from different places, and it ensures, a trust is the only way to ensure that what both people want when they pass will occur. So I like to use a trust, and then I open the series LLC in the trust. So you got trust, then you have series LLC, and each one of those, each series kind of creates its own like little legal box, right? So the example I give, if you have 3 pieces of property, A, B, and C, and I'm in B and I slip and trip and I break my leg and I get a big fatty judgment against you, when you only have an LLC protecting you, I can go get my judgment against A, B, and C. If your A, B, and C are in series, I can only get a judgment in series B. I can't take A or C. And that is why I love series. It's like free insurance. Sorry, Chris, it's free insurance. So then another layer of insurance is having that series in the trust, right? That's another legal protection, another step away from you personally and someone taking what you've earned by way of judgment. So the trust then, if you become incapacitated or you pass away, the trustee of the trust, whoever that is, whoever you've nominated, can continue to run your series LLC as if you're still alive, or your regular LLC, or whatever your business is, as if you're still alive. Now, if you don't have it that way, you end up like one gentleman I saw in court whose mom is about to be homeless because dad died and there's no executor, so there's no one to collect rent. So she's not been getting rents off the rental incomes. She's unable to pay her own mortgage because she's not getting that income anymore. And it's in front of a particular judge here in Dallas County who particularly takes forever. So they're not going to have income coming in for about a year or 2.
Oh, wow.
You do not want that. You don't want that for your business. You don't want that for your family. Imagine if I'm your tenant and I find out you pass and I've listened to this show or I know anything about how long that Dallas probate court is going to take. Am I going to pay you rent? No, I just won the lottery. They passed away. There's no one to collect. But if you have that trust, you have that trustee, and no judge has to get involved. And everything in the trust gets distributed as the trust reads, as you decided, right? So you have a granddaughter, you love her, you want to pay, you want to give her, a house when you pass, but you're a Howard alum and it's really important to you. She maintain a 3.0 and then she go to Howard. We can put that in the trust. If she doesn't do those things, she's not getting anything. So trusts are how you can control from the grave. They allow continuity if anything ever happens to you. And they are an excellent, excellent, excellent source to put other vehicles for wealth building into. Another thing about trusts,
Hey, Lauren, I have a question for you real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
One quick question about the LLC. You said it's insurance. That's actually insurance in that LLC? Is it actually an insurance policy in that LLC, or do you guys actually get a policy?
No, it's just legal insurance. It's just
okay.
a step away from judgment. It's not your kind of insurance, Chris.
Okay.
They still got to call you. They still got to get that homeowner's insurance. They still got to get that landlord insurance. This is just another protection legally.
Okay.
It's almost, I call it like a free insurance, right? It's not a policy. It's just the law. The series LLC creates separate LLCs for each item, right? So if my hair clip was a house and my phone is a house and you fall in my phone, you're not going to be able to come take my hair clip. You're only going to be able to take the assets in this part of the series. So to me, that's gold. And you're only paying one LLC fee. I mean, how many investors do you know that have one LLC per rental? A lot, right?
A lot.
They're paying $308 to the Secretary of State for every property, plus $1,500 to $2,000, whatever, to a lawyer for every property. Why not just pay the $308 and then the $1,500 one time, and then create series as you go along? I'm about efficiency, and that is as efficient as it can get. So
let's take a moment and just give out the number to the station again in case anyone wants to call and ask you a question. Please dial in at 972-996-3970. Again, that's 972-996-3970. And if one of the BWT team members can hop on over to our page and see if anyone has any questions. We want to hear from you. But please continue. We got a few more minutes, and we're definitely going to have you give out your information again. This is just too important.
Yeah, too good.
Hey, I'm trying to give you some education right here myself. That's why I asked so many questions.
Lauren, I can't wait to get off the show to make my appointment with you. I'm going first.
Truth be told, and she already kind of told off on me. We talked Thursday, so I got a little head start. So.
Yeah, okay, doggone it.
And yeah, go ahead, Attorney Lauren.
You can all go to my YouTube channel, and I've just been filling that with content and doing these videos and trying to teach people. I believe knowledge is power, and we all need power. We need personal power, and we need to be able to go out and succeed and pass that on to generations. I mean, what is the effect when you have a trust and you have minors, especially, you know, I have a trust. So if I pass away, my trust is my beneficiary on some of my accounts. Some of my accounts are in the trust name. So if I pass away, everything goes into the trust. And then my trust says line for line, you know, this needs to happen for my son. This needs to happen for my daughter. This needs to happen here. Da, 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 da. There's no rolling over in my grave like, is college going to get paid for? Are my babies being fed? I know college is getting paid for and they are being fed because I wrote it out. And the person who is a trustee, they are what we call a fiduciary. I know all of y'all know what a fiduciary is, right? Mm-hmm. So a fiduciary has the highest legal duty to someone. Mm-hmm. And they say it's as high as you owe to yourself, but I got to be honest with you, most people don't treat themselves as well as we expect a fiduciary to treat something. Okay, so a fiduciary duty, the trust creates a fiduciary duty to the trustee. So Chris, and this is the same with the POA. So the person who becomes power of attorney has a fiduciary duty to who their power of attorney over. Mm-hmm. So in your first question, if that did happen, the either the beneficiaries, if the person has since passed away, or the person who is harmed can go back and sue the thief who breached their fiduciary duty. And it's not just give me my money back, it's you breached my fiduciary duty, so it's give me my money back, give me attorney's fees, and give me additional damages because you should have known better because you were my fiduciary, right? So it's pretty strong law that helps protect you when there is a fiduciary duty. So that is a great thing. Another thing I'd like to mention about trusts, but you know, until a question comes in, the way I write my trust is that we're going to put all your real estate either in the trust or into an LLC, but we're going to put your home into the trust. And a couple things with that. First, if y'all go look for Cadillac, Cadilac in DCAD, you will not find anything. That's because Lauren Cadilac does not own real estate. My trust owns it. So people are not going to be able to find me. That is important in a safety and security issue for me, especially as a single mother, okay? So you're out of the public record. But the second thing is I put this, what they call magic language, into the trust so that once we establish the trust, we put your home into the trust and we still get your homestead exemption. Even though you don't legally own the home anymore, the trust does, we get your homestead exemption. And let me make a third point, and this is probably pretty important to some listeners out there. We can use trusts for Medicaid planning. So myself, I told you I was in a coma. I was severely injured. I suffered a brain injury. I almost died when I was 24. I'm doing great now, so no need to cry for me. I'm doing fine. It's what catapulted me to law school. But there is no doubt in the entire world that someday I will need Medicaid, okay? You can't sustain injuries like that at 24 and not expect some repercussions in my older age, right? So we can make the trust if you're working with your doctor and you're understanding, you need 5 years for the Medicaid look back period. If we make the trust irrevocable, the minute it becomes irrevocable, that starts your 5-year look back period. So exactly 5 years later, everything that's in that trust that you technically do own, it's now being used for your benefit. Medicaid doesn't see it as your ownership. they see it as you are non-owner because it's just for your benefit. It's an irrevocable trust. Trust only. The trust, yes, it's very powerful stuff.
Is powerful.
Yes, this is, I mean,
Definitely.
huge. I love trust. This is what rich people do, and it's my goal to give normal, regular people, rich people things. So let's use some trust.
Yeah,
That's
we
what I'm
gonna
talking about.
get this.
Let's do this.
We're gonna be rich together. Yeah,
That's right. Yes, yes.
absolutely.
Hey, Lauren, I had another question for you real quick on the beneficiaries. I hear sometimes people say you need a social security number and sometimes you don't. Do you have to have a social security number for the children if you have that, if it's
No.
beneficiaries?
Not at all. So when we write the trust, we just need identifying things. So
Okay.
for instance, with me, it's really easy. My son, Noah, my daughter, Liberty. You're going to know who my son and daughter are because I'm a mom and obviously I gave birth to them. So it's pretty easy. You know, so maybe a few more details if it's like a really common name or someone with a lot of kids, like my dad has 9, you know, we might want to put my daughter, Lauren, who lives here. And of course, that's just going to be as of that date, right? And if you have daughters, they might change, they might get married, change their last name. It just needs to be enough that that trustee can go find those people.
Would it be beneficial to go ahead and do the social security number because that will be an identifier, or would that be a security breach for somebody, or what do you think?
No, I think it'd be fine. I mean, it's never going to hurt, but it's
Okay.
not required, right?
Okay,
So,
gotcha. Okay.
more details won't hurt, but it's not mandatory. So, for instance, I have a client now, he didn't have a trust, but he had 3 kids in the Philippines, and his will creates a trust for them. So they don't have social security numbers. They live and are from living in the Philippines. So he just said their names, who their mom is, and where they live in the Philippines at the day he wrote his will. And then the will created a trust for them, and we can move property into that trust and hold it for them until they're of age.
Wow. This has been
Powerful.
incredible,
Yeah.
incredible
I'm on my seat.
information.
It's my seat.
Yes, yes. So, you know, we grew up in the investment world. Hey, you know, hey, get your money, get your hard cash, you know, go purchase this property, put it in your name. You can do that up to 3 or 4 times before you have to form a company. But those 3 or 4 homes that you have that you just put in your name, and I know it should be pretty explanatory what happens, you know, how you're liable. But Attorney Lauren, can you explain what happens when you purchase real estate in your own name using your own social?
Well, I will say typically you're going to have to use your own social at first because you have credit and your LLC will not. So you will have to use that. My suggestion is that you close, you know, have that deed recorded and then sign a new deed directly over to the LLC or the trust or whatever it is. You owning rental property in particular, or even if you're doing flips, any kind of investment property, it opens you up to liability. And if it's in your own name, that is personal liability, period, full stop. If it's in the name of your trust, or particularly an LLC or a corporation, there's this imaginary line in the law called the veil. And it's really hard to pierce. They call it piercing the corporate veil. That veil protects owner, me, from liability down here. And there's a lot of work to get through it. I know because I'm trying to do one in a case right now, trying to pierce the veil. So it is an uphill battle for them to climb. If not, in your instance, 3 properties, if I fall and break my leg in property 1, and I get a fatty judgment, you hadn't called Chris, you don't have landlord insurance, whatever the issue is, I go get a big old judgment, right? Now I'm going to put that judgment against everything you own that isn't your homestead. And so whatever has to be sold out of these 3 properties to satisfy that judgment is getting sold. But if you have it in a series, you're only going to be able to go for the one.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. We have a question. We have a question in chat. We have a question there. She has a home. This particular lady has a home here in Texas. However, her dad has a home in Colorado in which she has a power of attorney over. She would like her daughter to inherit the property in Colorado instead of her husband. What should she do?
She should contact a Colorado attorney.
Okay.
I don't know Colorado law in terms of husbands. If that scenario was happening here in Texas, Texas is a community property state, so she can only will her portion. She cannot will what her husband's own, and there's no way to avoid the husband inheriting if she acquired it during the marriage.
Okay.
If it was separate of the marriage, that's a whole different story, but I actually have no idea if Colorado has community property or not, so she does need to contact a Colorado attorney.
Okay, and one more question. If you have someone who's on your bank account, would they be able to retrieve the will from the safe deposit box?
No, 100% no, 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 no. Never have a will in a safe deposit box. Never, never, never put your will in a safe deposit box, period. The only person who can get into that safe deposit box is a co-signer on the safe deposit box or someone who has a judge's order in their hand. And a judge's order does not come cheap. So you might as well just keep the will outside the safe deposit box. Just send it to the county clerk's office. Put a nice little letter that says, hey, I heard you can hold these. Hold mine. Signed me. Thanks. And call it a day.
And call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey, Lauren, I've had a question. Some about sole proprietorships, and they said their CPA said from a financial standpoint, it was beneficial for them to do it like that. Is there some way that you can do a sole proprietorship and have some, I guess, buffer to where they can't go after your personal stuff?
No,
is there any way you can do that? Sole proprietorship?
By its very nature and definition means it can come after you personally.
Okay.
So whoever is giving advice to do any business in a sole proprietorship should not be giving that advice. They should go to law school because that is very unintelligent advice. If you are going to be doing business, you should at least have an LLC. Full stop.
Gotcha.
And then I see Ms. Hope says, if there's a clause that says do not sell the property until 50 years and they sell it within 10, what do you do? That you can't, so it depends on where that clause is. If that clause is in a deed, then that's a reverter issue and you sue in a district court. If that clause is in a will, it's invalid, so it doesn't matter. If that clause is in a trust, then you go and sue the trustee. So it depends on where that language is, but if it's in a will, with a will, you cannot control from the grave. So when you will something to someone, you are giving it to them. Full stop. You don't get to say anything about it. Well, you're dead, but nothing else can transpire. You can't have any strings attached. If you want to attach strings, you have to use a trust.
Good.
Okay. And we do have another question. Do you need a trust and a will? Or if you have a trust, do you still need a will? And if so, why?
That is a really great question. So technically, if you have a trust, you don't need a will, but I usually do them. And that is because there are things that you will forget to put into the trust. So when we create the trust, we'll create like an exhibit that says all of this properties in the trust. And you might remember your wedding ring and this piece of art and the this and the this. But between me writing that trust and listing that property and your passing, you might inherit your grandma's ring and this and this and that. That is then not in the trust. So you have the will to kind of take care of the things that you maybe forgot about or came up after the trust was written and you didn't get time to go put it away.
Gotcha.
And it looks like it's time for us to take a break.
Yeah, take a break. Ms. Ross?
Well, we'll hear from our superior abstract title right now.
Okay.
We make our clients feel number one by answering every call and working around the client's schedule. We will close the customer at any location they choose with no cost added for this service. In addition, we are a 100% woman-owned business. Contact Superior today at 214-705-1310 or superiorabstract.com.
to together back to the basics. Hey, another mention of our wonderful sponsor that we have got, Next Generation Payroll. That's Brian Jennings. He's the president. He provides marketing consulting, payroll services, and HR consulting. Hey, he also provides strong business solutions that result in sustainability, growth, and efficiency. Reach out to Brian at Next Generation Payroll in Dallas. He's at 214-396-2200. That's 214-396-2200. Or reach him at ngpayroll.com. All right, Chris, how about you?
And once again, we have Walter Pickney with Superior Air. As I said, Superior Air is a superior HVAC company that does residential and commercial AC installation, maintenance, and service and repair. And Walter can be reached at 469-636-0945 or at www.superiordfw.com.
Well, if you're just joining us, you're back here with Building Wealth Together, back to the basics. Woo, I'm so excited. I can't even talk today. Miss Lauren Cadilac has blown our mind with just some really, really valuable information. And I think after everyone hears this, you need to go to your children, go to your spouse, go to your business partners and say, look, we gonna have to have a sit down. Because the truth is, and you said something that was so resonating and that is so true, that one event in our life, whether you're young or whether we're old, what happens to our assets in the circumstance of, hey, this was unplanned, a coma, a car wreck, a debilitating disease. What happens? What do we have in place? And it will be a shame to just have our families, siblings, all of our assets in disarray and everyone fighting over them. So this has been really, really valuable information. I don't know that we have time for one more question, but thank you so much, those that have joined in calling into the station. Well, we do have, hold on, we got one more, and I really want to get these questions in. Miss Sandra called back and she said that she acquired her home before she was married. Would those rules apply to her?
So if you acquire something before marriage, it's considered separate property unless you've commingled it. And commingling can get tricky. So Sandra is definitely needs to call a lawyer to determine if that's going to apply to her. I don't know without talking to her about the situations. My number, this is Lauren, is 972-845-1200. And I just want to let Miss Slaughter know, I just got your email through my website, which is cadillaclaw.net. So I did get you, and we will give you a call on Monday. It's 972-845-1200.
Awesome. And we thank you. Thank you so much once again. We're going to do our round robin. I'm Roz B. Ask Roz B. Rosalind Booker. I'm the principal broker, CEO of Arbrook Realty, where we birth dreams and build legacies in real estate. And our mantra this year, in weeks and years to come, is that we want to help people reclaim, restore, and rebuild, especially during these trying times. We have some trophies. We have success stories of people who are not delaying their dreams. They are moving forward in the midst of a pandemic. There are those who came to the table just last week with nothing, no money. And thanks to Miss Rhonda and their wonderful team over at PRMG, yes, PRMG, they were able to help find those funds. So, the key to getting started is start with where you lay your head. Let your first property, your homestead, be your first investment property. So I will leave my phone number, 972-679-9311. Again, that's 972-679-9311. Melly Mel?
Yes, great show. And starting with your personal credit, I'm Melanie Williamson. I represent White Jacobs and Associates, a credit authority, but I also represent the community one source networking, credit and community. Hey, get a strong platform, build your personal credit, you can reach me, and I'm working to build and help you understand, help you maintain and protect your credit. So reach out to me for 48394, or you can also email me, m.williamson@whitejacobs.com. I love hearing from you guys. Chris?
Hey, I'm Chris Ziegler with the Ziegler Agency Allstate, located in Frisco, Texas, and I service the whole state of Texas. And once again, my motto is customer service with a personal touch. And I'll touch on different facets of insurance, from personal lines like your home and your auto and your toys, to business and commercial insurance. I do bonds. I do supplemental insurance. Y'all know about the company that does the duck. We have something that's very comparable out there as well that's real good. And reach out to me at 214-870-4269. That's my personal cell phone, or you can text me as well. And Miss Cadillac, thank you so much for your information today. I thought I had everything airtight, and there's no shame in my game. I learned a lot myself today that I need to take advantage of. So thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I am Rhonda Hutchison. I am the Loan Lioness with PRMG. And contact me today at 214-856-3747. Let me help you get the foundation to build generational wealth. Let's start by that home. It may not be your perfect home, but it'll be your first home, and it can be your investment home in the future. So give me a call again. It's 214-856-3747, and my name is Rhonda Hutchison.
Hey there.
Hey, Roz, on the t-shirts, tell everybody they can get a t-shirt they can floss with a low cost on this t-shirt. So go ahead online and get those.
Yes, get your BWT legacy tees. We call them legacy tees. So join in the legacy wealth building mission with us. So why don't we go to our Facebook, and Rhonda or Chris, why don't y'all select a winner? Select a winner.
Go ahead, Rhonda.
Select a winner for our Starbucks. But in the meantime, while she's getting that winner, I wanted to just share, stay tuned, stay plugged in for every week, except there's 5 Saturdays in this month, and we're not on the 5th Saturday. But next week, we are going to be talking about finding your niche. We're going to be having some investors that started small, man, and they are just accumulating wealth. They did it the slow but sure way. We're going to have someone here possibly talking about multifamily, commercial real estate investing. So you got the money, you got the credit, one of the both, but you don't quite know which angle to take in terms of investing. Well, perhaps they can shed some light on that. So stay plugged in. And then on the 15th, we're going to have a finance panel. Okay, where do you find the money? What are some of the ways that you can finance the deals? And then on the 22nd, we will conclude with just a very informational panel that's just talking about legacy wealth building. You know, what are some of the roadblocks, how we can do it together. We are even going to have someone on here talking about how we can raise funds in an instance to get millions and millions of dollars on the books so we can buy some land, buy some properties together. So it's amazing. Say, Rhonda, do you have a winner for us?
Yeah, I have a winner. How about Miss Cynthia Lynn?
Well, Cynthia Lynn is the winner of our Starbucks gift card. And if you will ask her to leave her address and comments, that way we can send that to her. But hey, guys, that's all we have time for today. I'm Roz B, as Roz B. You've reached us here at Building Wealth Together, Back to the Basics, right here on KHVN Heaven 97, 970 AM radio. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
See you later.
You have been listening to Building Wealth Together. Be sure to follow this program on Facebook and Instagram. And for more information, call 469-795-1708. Tune in every first